Welcome to Basics in Education and Learning. That's me.
My.
Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that'll write a poem.
Warning, there will not be any jump scares actually. However, the moveset will contain some major spoils from the series Doki Doki Literature Club, or even Monika herself. This character is also a bit unsettling along with the game that she's in. All viewers have been warned and advised. Yes, Monika, from the #1 psychological horror game out there, Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes, a game that either helps you mentally like it's supposed to do, or when played blind, crushes you mentally. You might be wondering, how does a simple little dating simulator that ironically has 4 girls that are all 18 years old, no dark secrets at all, am I right? Well, you're wrong, because you're blind. You're playing this blind if you think that. Because then people start to die, and more psychological stuff. And it's all suicide. And then people die, and die, and die, and die, and die. But that's not the point, is it now? The point is, we're talking about Monika here, okay? Not the people that die. Monika, okay? Now, those of you that don't know who Monika is exactly, besides she's from the game Doki Doki Literature Club, which I just explained, Monika is just a normal high school student that started a literature club. That's why the game is called Doki Doki Literature Club, if you haven't catched on. Well, at least she was a normal high school student until you came along, the MC, and then she realizes that she's a monitor kernel access system, which coincidentally, oh, not yet, okay. Those of you that don't know what that means, it means, well, a main admin in the entire game. So yes, this game is a 4th wall breaker. Deal with it. Anyways, what I was about to say is that it coincidentally means Monika. If you just spell it something worse, it means Monika. I'm not gonna lie, Dan Savato. That's pretty clever. Except for one thing. Every time I type in Monika, it says it's a spelling error. Why didn't you add that to the dictionary, Dan Savato? How could you? Anyways, a little bit more about the story. After she finds out that she's not real, she figures that everyone else isn't real, except for the MC, which is real. So she figured out that there's no happiness or even true ending for anything, because nothing is real. So along with that, she tries to date the only real thing, which is the MC, becomes desperate, kill all her friends because they're not real, and they don't have any real feelings about anything real. Ugh. Can I say real enough in one sentence? Probably not. This is a big real deal. Anyways, after trying to find the real thing, just so she's happy and not lonely. So she tries to date the MC, which is real, so she can have her own happiness, real happiness, and other real stuff. You probably want me to shut up about the real reality talk, and probably want me to get into the moveset now. I'm gonna do that now. Anyways, things we need to know. I imagine Monika to be lightweight with 2 jumps, and she will be very floaty. After seeing a official image of her floating in space. So, not a fake image at all. Anyways, I'm going to explain what you might expect in this concept. Now, her concept in general is kind of similar to both Villager's and Isabel's concept. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'll explain. What I mean is that she won't actually fight. It'll just seem like she's fighting by doing normal high school stuff. Or maybe I'll just add in some glitches there in here and there. So if you're looking for an entire moveset that has imagery and jump scares and having her do some other evil stuff, I'm sorry, but you came to the wrong place. Anyways, let's get into some things. Now, I imagine her jab actually to be a rapid jab. Have some notes, specifically some words like in the original thing. So this is a rapid jab, but actually this will have some sort of ink effect after using some ink and other stuff. Probably wonder how this is happening. Well, Monica's just showing you her work. There's nothing wrong about sharing her poems. That's the entire point of the literature poem, is it not? Anyways, now let's get into the dash attack. The dash attack is kind of based on this image. You might see nothing that actually works for this image, but I do. Coffee. Anyways, this could have her dash and actually spill her coffee onto the foe. The coffee is a projectile, by the way. But if the coffee does actually spill on the foe, then the foe will actually be burst because the coffee was pretty hot. Anyways, for side tilt, we have her check her work by having her stretch out her arms and then read. However, what she doesn't realize is that actually does some damage, so she could accidentally punch foes without realizing, and other stuff like that. Anyways, for up tilt, we have her think about what she's going to write next. But as a friend said, all geniuses first lead to confusion. Like I said, as a friend said. This is a pretty spammable thing, and it's actually based on a official image of Sayori thinking about something. But since I had trouble thinking of most of the moves, I kind of got desperate myself to think of some moves, so I just decided to use some other references. But I'm sure this is the only other character references you'll be seeing, so don't worry. Anyways, let's get into this. Oh, not yet? Okay. Her down tilt would be very similar to the jab, but only a one hitter. It does still have the ink effect, so be aware of that. Now, for the smashes, apparently it was not a move ago. Her smashes can kind of get a little laggy, as I could say. Let's have her write some notes, or so you think. Actually, she's writing some code secretly. So once letting go of the trigger, a huge glitch would appear. Anyone caught in the glitch would actually take some paralyzation damage and a multiple flinchy damage before launching. Now, however, Sakura quickly notices this glitch and lag, so he quickly fixes it after a second, 0.5. The up smash would be very similar, but instead having it glitch upwards. And the down smash cover do two glitches downwards. All these moves work similar to Pac-Man's, and I know you might be thinking, this guy sucks, he's not thinking of anything creative. But as I said, I had trouble with this moveset, okay? I couldn't think of anything else that doesn't summon her friends as a moveset because I hate that, and also I did their movesets. So, guess what? Deal with it. Anyways, all this glitching does have the same effect as the side smash, so be aware of that. Now, you might be watching and I skipped a slide, didn't I? Okay. Now, for a neutral air, we have her, once again, write some notes, but this time summons all her words around her, once again, dealing the ink effect. Her side air can have her, send you an invitation of, her literature club. Actually, I'll give you a bonus question. I'll be surprised if any of you can see a reference on the piece of paper. It's a reference in the Doki Doki Literature Club game, but we'll see if you can figure it out. Just post it down in the comments if you do know what it is. Otherwise, good luck. But that's not the point. Now, the back air can have her see that a tab appear right next to her, or the behind her, that says there is no happiness after all. This is a tab that actually appears in the game, I think later on or around the end of the game. But I guess in her game, she doesn't have any happy endings, so. Anyways, for her up air, she can have her summon a glitch upwards, while her down air can have her summon a glitch downwards, both having the glitch effect that I explained down in the smashes. Now then, Monika would grab with both hands, actually grabbing by the arms. Except for Sandbag doesn't have any arms. Poor Sandbag. Anyways, her pummel can have some glitches appear, causing a little bit of damage to the foe. A side throw can have Monika tell the foe to look behind her, and then a glitch would appear, and then the glitch would send the foe forwards. The back air can be very similar, but Monika sits down while the foe is confused, and a glitch appears, and then glitches the back, so Monika doesn't get hit because she's sitting down. Anyways, the up throw can have Monika look up along with the foe. Ever heard of that psychological trick? Look up, and then the other person will look up. That's exactly what she's doing, psychologically playing the foe. And then a glitch appears, and then the glitch will send the foe upwards. And a down throw can have the foe start glitching or lagging, whatever you want to call it, for about 1.8 seconds. The foe will be unable to move or attack. Thank goodness it's not forever because Sakura is a master coder and he won't allow that to happen. Now, for her neutral special, she wields a gun. Now then, her neutral special is actually a move that was suggested and posted in our community's moveset server and Discord on Discord. Well, what's happening here, you may ask? Well, Monika realizes that she is actually out of ink in her pen. Now, actually, she might have a whole bunch, since this is a pretty spammable move. This could have her flick away a pen. And then the pen is pretty much a projectile. This is a little spammable because who knows how many pens that Monika has that are pretty much out of ink. It does have a tiny bit of cooldowns, and she has to try to find her pen wherever it is, pulling a pen out of nowhere. But then again, now I'm thinking about it, maybe not, because Monika can pretty much copy all those pens and paste them anywhere. So, no, I take that back. The pens are pretty much projectiles, so anyways, you might be watching so far, and as you noticed in the beginning, I might have said that her moveset will not have any unsettling themes the entire way through. Well, guess what? I lied. Deal with it. Anyways, her side special can have her turn to some sort of ghost, and then dashes forwards pretty quickly. The move is very, very similar to Fox's and Falco's side special. Now, this is a reference to a ghost alt as we've seen in the Doki Doki Literature Club Easter egg things, as you can dig in the files. It's kind of the main point. The main point of the game is trying to find Easter eggs in the files. This is a pretty nice move, and even so, actually, if above 80% damage, it would actually let the foe fall, kind of working like Kazuya's side special instead. Now, for the up special, we have a mouse randomly appear, and then we'll drag her upwards, like how a mouse is supposed to do. Like right here, mouse. Except for that mouse is really, really big, actually. This is another move that was actually suggested by the same person in the community server on Discord. If you want to suggest some ideas or help me out, then I suggest going to the server, which I think I put a link down in the About Us. So, go to that. Anyways, once the mouse let go, after, let's say, 3 seconds, then Monika will go into free fall. Finally, for the down special, you might hate me for this, but I have my reasons. We gotta do some sort of glitch counter. Yes. I'm sorry, I can't think of anything else. Could you? I bet not. That doesn't sound our friends anything. And anyways, this counter works very similar to Sora's. Actually, having her will not take any attacks at all, along with projectiles. So this is kind of more of a safety counter. It does not attack any other foe in any way. It just she doesn't take any damage while using this counter if anything hits her, including other attacks. Anyways, I have a little bit extra move options for her that will probably be pretty interesting. Now, this is a small gimmick, nothing too big. It's a movement option gimmick. Yeah, I just decided not to do it in the movement options. This gimmick is actually a shield gimmick. If you do a perfect shield, then she will actually glitch out of the way or lagging as a perfect shield move. This move actually works a lot like Mithra's and Bayonetta's shield gimmick. Nothing too sketchy or similar or gimmicky. Just special dodge. Now this is where things will get pretty interesting. Now for Fun Smash, we'll ever take you to a scene of just Monika. A scene in the third act of Doki Doki Lyrics Club. We'll ever now say goodbye to the foe while the game starts lagging, glitching, and then errors will appear. Then the game would just completely crash. This the section that tells you to restart your console, and then the actual foe playing the foe will then rage quit after you do actually have to restart the console, and then would completely kick you out of the game and disconnect you. JK. Actually, there will be a 3-second restart, which would then restore the entire game, and actually will subtract any EXC from the game if above 80% damage. That this is a cinematic final smash. And thank goodness for that. Sakura is too good of a program to let Monika delete the foe completely. And thank goodness for that. Now, for Monika's alts, her first ult can ever have some gingerish hair with her normal purplish shirt with the blue skirt and everything else. The second ult can ever have more pinker gingery hair with a blue bow and a gray skirt instead, or top. That's what I should have said, top. This is a reference to Sayori. The next the alt, can ever have pink hair with a lighter top with the red bow. This is a reference to Natsuki. The fourth alt could ever have a darker top with purple hair with a black bow. This is a reference to Yuri. The next ones can be based on Easter eggs or other images. This could have her have almost full-on black alt, except for her skin, with small little white areas here and there. This is based on the ghost alt. And like I said, it doesn't affect her skin, so don't worry, you will know when you're using the side special. The sixth alt can have her be based on the jump scare. If you want to avoid this jump scare, take my advice. Don't be recording any streams. You're not going to have a fun time. The next alt can have it be a casual costume, as we've seen in an official alt, which was Monika's birthday 2020, which will have her have some sort of top. I'm not a girl, so I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, would you look at that? Coffee. And the final alt can ever have a dress based on Monika's birthday 2019, or even appears in some more official art. Now, for her first alt, we have her lean down in position. Kind of just weighing down here and there. This is based on sprites in Doki Doki Literature. The next one can have some sort of tab appear, or a dialogue appear, while having her say, "Get ready, everybody." Will there be a voice actress? I don't know. I'm honestly not too sure. And her final taunt can have her just glitch a little. Because, well, she's not supposed to be in the system of Smash, so it only makes sense. Now, for her victory, starting with the first one, can have her glitch into the stage, and then appears as her normal self, and then smiles at the screen. Her second victory can have her play her victory theme, which will probably be piano, maybe, on the piano. And then she stops playing, and then relax as she played a victory theme of Super Smash Bros. And her final victory can have it be the Let's Go Just Monika scene, based on the Act 3 scene. That's pretty much it. Just stand there and then smile for a little. And then she goes back to this pose. Actually, a little Easter egg to this. If you stay on for at least more than 15 seconds, so no, you cannot do this online. she will actually start talking to player. Now, it will be auto, so it will automatically go to another cutscene, pretending like you're actually talking to her every 5 seconds. But that's not too important. It's now. What is important is that's it. That's what if Monika from Doki Doki Literature Club was in Smash. I hope you enjoyed this concept and remake, because jeez, it took a long time. I mean, it was long. 3 weeks of just thinking. Anyways, like I said, hope you enjoy this, and if you don't mind subscribing, then please do. If you don't feel like subscribing because you're a jerk, I'm just kidding. I'm not that desperate. Then please give me a thumbs up instead. If you want to keep track of any of our stupid videos, then I suggest ringing the bell. Anyways, that's it. If you actually want to join our Discord server as well, we'll put a link down in the About Me. It's not already there. You can help me out with a few stuff or just be there, I guess. Anyways, that's it. That's when the Monica was in Smash. Ta-ta.